County Metro Parks, and we're here at Carlisle Reservation. Right now, we're in our Raptor Center. So you probably noticed, you may not call this food, but we call it food. Up to this point, this March, we have had a food donation from a facility that breeds mice and rats for college laboratories and other kinds of laboratories. These ones are control animals that weren't used, or nothing's been happening with these guys, but they've been culled from their population, and in turn they donate these rats that you see here, but we also have mice that we've already bagged. They donate these to organizations like ours, but also local wildlife rehabilitators, sometimes zoos, all sorts of places that we in turn use them to feed our birds. So they come to us, and there's a couple down here. They come to us in garbage bags with the bedding and other things in the bag that you don't necessarily want with the rest of it. So what Jeff's doing here, Jeff's a Raptor Corps member, and he's volunteering and helping us. He's cleaning the rats over there, and then weighing them on our scale. And then I know this may look like a jumble of nonsense, but we have different piles for different weights because different birds are different sizes and they have different food requirements. So to make this easier for us in the future, what we're doing is we are bagging them in Ziploc freezer bags, which work the best, by the way. And we are putting them in our chest freezer over here, so that way as we make food bags and portion it out, we can pull these and use them. So all of these are ones that we bagged today. We have other ones from another, what we call our rodent run. We still have some things from last August, some mice that were donated from last August. So obviously we're going to try and use the older stuff first, but today we're just trying to get everything in here and frozen, so that way we can use it later for food bags. Alright, so the next step, after we get our food in our bags, based on their weight and then which birds need larger rats, for example, obviously the eagle, we need the larger rats over on the other side of the table. He eats more than our barred owls. So we have different weights for different birds. But that way, when we pull it out of the freezer, what we'll then do is we'll portion out. So this is an AM portion. It has two rats, one for each of our red-tailed hawks. And so what us or the volunteers, the Raptor Corps volunteers will do is, once these are thawed and they're being prepped for that day, they'll gut the rats, make sure that they're right on the right weight requirement, and then they'll feed them to the birds. We also put, for some of our birds that have wing injuries, we'll put in glucosamine chondroitin in here, because it's to help their joints, just like someone, a human that would take glucosamine chondroitin. So it comes from this jumble of, based on by weights and who might use it. So this bag, 150 to 110 grams for a single red-tailed hawk. Then it goes into about every 2 weeks or so, either one of the NAT staff, Jen or myself, or one of the volunteers will portion out AM, PM bags, like these guys here. We're just waiting to put more in the freezer, then we'll put these on top. But then, our whole system over here is that those bags then will come into here. So this is an AM portion that's already been thawed and we're ready to go for tomorrow morning. So again, there's 2 rats in there, just like the other frozen bag, only these are ready. They're ready to be warmed up to room temperature, gutted, and portioned out to the right size. So the ones that we pulled out this morning are on the bottom, so then they have 2 days to thaw, and we keep pulling and replenishing. So there's a couple different piles here for a couple different birds. Again, the different birds with different needs. Havoc, the peregrine falcon, not only do we have mice, but he also eats quail, because he's a bird that part of his requirements is that he eats other birds. And again, we have our vitamins, our glucosamine chondroitin, our vitamins, which is called VitaHuck, and another supplement that we use for our screech owl to prevent liver disease. So that's basically what we have here, and then we'll go and we'll prep it and feed it to the bird, recollect the uneaten food, and we'll do that the next day and the next day and the next day, every day.
What I'm doing here is I'm going to prep the food for afternoon feeding. These containers were taken out of the refrigerator a while ago and then preheated inside. There's basically 3 days worth in there removed from the freezer into there and rotate them, and on the third day then they're all thawed out and ready to go. They've been warmed up to room temperature, and this is the fun part. We disembowel everything, and the reason we do that is to remove any of the bacteria that's living on the insides. You want to become a Raptor Corps volunteer. This is probably the biggest part to get over. These portions are all pre-measured out for the birds. Some birds are fed in the morning, some birds are fed in the afternoon. So there's basically 2 shifts of volunteers or the naturalists that are coming in to take care of. That's quail. And that's for our peregrine falcon. I've got a chart right in front of me that shows by bird how much feed they should get each day. I'm going to portion that out, and I'm going to mark down on these logs that are right here how much food I give each bird. And then the next shift that comes in is going to clean up the leftovers and mark down what was left, and that all gets entered into a database. Keep track of how much the intake for each bird. You keep track of that along with their weight to track seasonal changes and any issues they could have health-wise.
And all of those guidelines are through research, but also the University of Minnesota. They have a Raptor Center care management workshop that we've attended, and there's other literature that says, you know, which birds based on their weight, how much food they're supposed to take in, and their nutrition requirements that we adhere to.
And also on the food log up there, it tells me what supplements or vitamins I need to add for each bird to their portion of food, and that's kept in the refrigerator here. And today I need this and this. And those 2 morsels are for the barred owls. Again, I weigh each portion, and I log it into what we give them. For each bird, you mark down exactly what you're giving them, and what it weighs, and what supplements are added to it. Okay, we're going to take these in for the barred owls. Now they won't eat right away, but you can see we got a special feeding platform up here. And in the wintertime, this is called a hot rock. That's wired, and that keeps the food from freezing. And they normally wait till dark before they feed, because that's when they naturally eat.